So today's question comes from a bro who wants to know, Elliot, how can I inspire a generation of snowflakes slash simps to be better? Okay. Says, I often find that when talking to a man about the call to life and the challenges that come with it, it's too much for a lot of men today. And when confronted with the truth, they tend to get upset and retreat further into the mindset of not trying and giving up on the traditional lifestyle. Great question, bro. And the very first thing that I think you ought to know is that you really can't inspire anyone. The word inspire comes from the breath. If you expire, that means your breath has left you. Death is expiration. Is inspiration, is to breathe into something, right? So if someone's going to breathe in your inspiration, breathe in your motivation, breathe in your affirmation, they need to be in a receptive position. They got to want to take it. And you trying to inspire someone that doesn't want to be inspired is not only an act of violence, right? It's almost like these, like America, when they say we're spreading democracy by the gun, right? By the gunpoint, by the barrel. It's like, yeah, we're doing this for your own good. I'm going to spread democracy right up your ass, right? It's kind of like what you're saying when you're talking in terms of like, how do I force these guys to receive my inspiration, right? Like you can't force good on somebody. Do-gooders are some of the worst people on the face of the planet. You don't want to be a fucking do-gooder. And I can tell you right now that your attitude about it, man, calling them simps and snowflakes just betrays your disdain for these guys. And so, every action is measured by the sentiment from which it proceeds. People can feel your vibe. And if you're kind of arrogant and you're like trying to do it for their good and calling them names about it, people close up, they dry up, they shrivel up, and they ignore you. I think maybe these guys are ready and willing and able to take your inspiration and do something great with it, but they don't like you. They don't like you. And I'm not saying you're a bad guy because I relate. I get it too. I want to inspire you. I want to make you do shit that's good for you, right? But at the same time, that shit don't work and people don't like it. You can't shove it down their throat. And on the flip side, it's like when Christ says, don't cast your pearls before swine. Okay, maybe you do have something good, but they don't want it. And all you're going to do is piss off the pigs. They're just going to be mad at you. Why are you trying to make me do something that I don't want to do? Leave me the fuck alone. So it's an uphill battle. You're trying to climb up it's an uphill battle. You're trying to do something that's not easy to do. And so he says, I try to talk to a man about the challenges in life, and a lot of them are not ready for it. Well, you're right. They're not ready. And if someone's not ready, they can't receive. And so you're, in a lot of ways, wasting your time. And so what do? You just got to be you. I know that sounds crazy, dude, but that's the only thing you can do. Just by showing up and being the best you change the people around you. Just by showing up and being the man that you can be to the best capacity possible, you transfer that food into the lives of other dudes. And that is probably the best way to change the world around you. What did Gandhi say? Be the change that you want to see in the world. He didn't say force the change that you want to see in the world. He said be the change you want to see in the world. And by, those who are meant to change, they're going to look at you and they're going to be curious. Honestly, you only want to deal with people that are actually curious about what you're doing. You don't want to deal with people that you have to convince that what you're doing is right. You want them to come to you. You want to be like the flower that blooms, and then all the bees come to you. You don't want to be a bee. You don't want to be the bee going around sticking your poker into people, going all over the place, doing shit. want to be the flower that the bee comes to and says, give me some nectar. Give me some sweetness. Give me some wisdom. You see? You don't want to have to get out there and force it down people's throat. You want them to come and get it from you, right? And the only way that they're going to come and get it from you is if their flower is blooming. If you have a beautiful bloom, a beautiful flower. And the best way to bloom your beautiful flower is to be kind. You get it? Bloom. Smile. Be an approachable guy. Be a loving guy. And by, those that want to receive your goodness, your gifts, they're going to find you. And then it's no work at all. There's no problem at all. There's just me being me and elevating my scene by being the best that I can be. Hope that helps, dude. Done.